Hey guys, happy holiday season. How good is summer? You can see behind me, I'm not at home today. I'm currently on a 2-week holiday down in Coolangatta, and then we're heading up to Noosa for a week. So it is an excellent little getaway and quite the view. But I thought I'd just jump on here to give you a little injury update. Welcome to Rinfit. So the results from my MRI came through, and those who've been watching the TDP series would probably be aware that I've been having some ongoing hip troubles. The physio's first impression was that I had strained my psoas muscle. However, given how long the recovery was taking and the struggles that I was having in different movement patterns and different ranges of motion, there was a bit of a fear that it could be a bit more. So the results from my MRI came back and it looked pretty good overall. However, it did come back with a small labrum tear, which isn't ideal. And I've received a response from my physio while I'm here on holidays. Her opinion is that it appears to be a stable labrum tear. She thinks it would be appropriate to seek specialist advice from an orthopedic surgeon should we see the progress that I've been making slow down or the pain worsen at any stage. And so we're planning to just manage it through physio. However, the recovery time is around 3 to 6 months before I can really start running properly. And that's if I keep on top of my physio stuff, don't do anything to aggravate it. So you might be asking, what is a labrum and what is a labral tear? So there's a ring of cartilage that lines the socket to your hip joint, and that ring is the labrum. Your hip is essentially a ball and socket joint where the thigh bone fits into the acetabellum, which is the pelvis socket, and the labrum makes the socket a bit deeper, helps cushion impact, and creates a seal so the bones stay stable while they kind of glide smoothly without grinding. A labral tear is essentially a small rip in that cartilage ring. It sounds a bit scary, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the hip is unusable. It more or less just means the hip seal is compromised. With that comes pain, often quite sharp when you bend, twist, lift, or put the hip into certain angles or ranges of motion. Pain is usually pretty deep. It's not so much like a muscle pain. It is quite a sharp pain at those specific ranges of motion. It can radiate through to your groin, lower back, and down the leg, which is what I found. I found quite a bit of pain also in my groin around those adductors and down the back of my leg to sort of the upper hamstring area. The main culprit for most labral tears is something called hip impingement, or FAI, where the natural hip bone shape doesn't quite fit together perfectly and often pinches and creates friction on the labrum. This is what I've found for a number of years now, especially trying to do things like squats. That sort of suggests that I was quite vulnerable to an injury like this. And so what does that mean for me going forward? On the healing, cartilage can't technically heal on its own because it has such low blood flow, so it won't stitch itself together without surgery. But many small tears like the one I have can become pain-free and non-limiting if you treat the muscles around it and you pattern out those movements through physio training. So that's the goal for me, where to get to a point where the tear might still exist structurally, but it no longer hurts and the hip kind of runs smoothly and you can perform like it's not even there. I'm feeling really good with some easy running, as long as I don't try to stride out. If I just take it easy and I shorten my stride length, improve my cadence, it feels like it goes pretty well. In fact, for the rest of the day, after a run, it tends to feel really good. So I'm pretty optimistic about how my running's going. However, gym, it could take a little bit longer and I can't see myself doing full depth squats or heavy squats properly for quite some time. So in 2 weeks time when I get back from holidays, I've got a physio appointment on the Wednesday, and so I'll check in with her, we'll have a look at the progress, and hopefully it'll be tracking pretty well, because some really exciting news, I've just signed up for the Gold Coast Marathon in 2026. That went live today. I queued for about an hour and a half online to get into that one. Was lucky enough to get in because I know that it sold out pretty quickly, especially for the half marathon. So my goal for next year will be to do a sub 2:50 marathon in the Gold Coast Marathon. I've got a couple of mates from the TDP series who will be doing it with me, and we'll see how we go. For now, the plan is to do some stretches every day, continue with my physio exercises, which are largely focusing on my glutes and my glute medius. Those are the main points, as well as trying to stretch out the hip and build some strength back into the hip flexor as well as building some quad and hamstring strength and improving the movement patterns. I really struggle with mobility. Flexibility is probably my biggest weakness, so I'm going to try and pattern into my routine a bit more yoga without doing exercises that might aggravate the labrum tear that I've got. It's good to hear that it's stable, because a big labrum tear would definitely require surgery, and that would set me out for probably up until the Gold Coast Marathon. So fingers crossed we keep going in the right direction. I'm going to continue running a little bit. So this week I'm aiming for 3 runs. So I did a 4K easy run at the start of the week. I'm going to do maybe a 5 or a 6K easy run tomorrow or Thursday, and then I'm going to hit up Kira Park Run as I edge closer and closer to getting to 100 park runs and 50 park runs for 2025. Until then though, I'm going to continue to enjoy my beach holiday. The weather has been fantastic. The amount of times we've come on a holiday and it's just started raining from day dot, but look at the weather behind me right now. This really is fantastic. And I'm going to make the most of this, and hopefully the salt water will also be good for my recovery. So stay tuned, and hopefully more good news to come. Catch you guys later.